Pretty good performance out there today. What kind of feedback were you getting from the coaches out there, scouts?
Some good things about my 40. I think that was the biggest question. A lot of people had like my speed. So just to be able to come out here and showcase that, something good feeling, paying off all that hard work.
What was your times in your 40?
I've heard like low 4.4, like some people at high 4.3. I don't know the official time yet, so we'll see.
What about what you showed as a receiver? I don't think you dropped the pass when you were working out with man. So how much do you think you showed them?
Yeah, I think that helped a lot because we didn't throw the ball to running back a lot. So I think that was another thing, that question, like, can we catch me and Kendra? Like, we both heard that a lot. So just to come out here and be able to show that, just showcasing more of my abilities.
As you've gotten ready for today, what has your process really been like?
A lot of work. It's been a long 3 months of training, so it just feels good to come out here and just put it all, finally the final product down.
Can you show teams that you can play different spots?
Yeah.
Receivers, is that the biggest thing that you need to show guys?
I actually wasn't even supposed to do that, so that just happened because Gunner ended up pulling his hamstring. So, but I guess it worked out in my favor to go and so I can run deep routes, catch the ball. So, yeah.
How have the conversations been with teams?
It's been like a few conversations, but I think it'll pick up after this. So I'm hearing it out here from a lot of teams. So.
Dallas has got the Dallas State tomorrow. Will you talk with them tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I did well. There's always a little room for improvement. I felt like I had a little more left, but overall, I think I did pretty well.
I'm sure you've been to some of these pro days in the past, watched some of your other teammates, all 32 teams, CFL teams. What does it kind of say about how far you guys kind of brought the program in there?
We came off an incredible season. We have a lot of good players, but let alone we have a lot of good guys too. So I feel like that's one thing that separates us from a lot of the other teams. So it's nice to know that we've been a part of one of the biggest seasons here. So yeah.
Go ahead, Jamie.
You were part of the Senior Bowl, you went to the NFL Combine, now you've been prepping for Pro Day. What have you heard from teams throughout that process, and what have you learned about yourself?
Yeah, well, I guess learning about myself, the transition from being a college athlete to now seeing this as a professional business has been sort of tough for me, because I'm so used to, being for the team, and which you can be for a team when you're in the NFL, but everything is now you're by yourself. You're your own company, and that's how I try to view things. So when you invest in a company, hoping it'll get better, and that's just how I have to view myself. So that's kind of been the toughest thing to look at it. So.
Sonny Dykes alluded to you being potentially last year's team's top leader. How would you describe your leadership style? You can hear you talking about the team.
It changed over the years. Being here, I feel like TCU for me developed me as a man and a player. So before, I feel like I was more of a lead by example guy, but this past year, I had to turn into more of a vocal guy. I'm a cool, laid back person, but specific example, during one of our practices in fall camp, we didn't have a great practice, and I was tired of losing. I've been here for 4 years, so I came up after practice and I went off, and I feel like after that, I gained a lot of respect from my teammates, and I feel like that's credited, to why we've had a lot of different leaders on the team. So yeah.
You've played center, guard, tackle. What have teams told you about what they like about your versatility?
Yeah, man. I feel like every team loves, versatility, and that's just what I wanted to showcase when I was at the Senior Bowl. I want to show that I can do it all, so teams can know that they can rely on me in different situations. So hopefully that's what I bring to the table, and hopefully that's what teams will value from me.
Do you have an ideal position that if you had your pick where you play?
Not really, but there's some teams that smack the table and be like, you get to choose one, what are you picking? And for now, I guess right now in this instance, I always say left guard, only because I'm coming off of a season where I've had the best season of my career, got all these accolades, and I'm not taking away from my ability to play center, because I know I can do that. I did at the Senior Bowl, but as for right now, I would say left guard.
Yeah, John Lance mentioned COVID year. You had COVID, came back and played right tackle 4 days later. What was that like?
So it was actually two. I came back on a Thursday, and my right tackle, Andrew Coker, had COVID. Well, first, let me backpedal. I came off, I was like, oh, okay, I might not play. And then I get a call, it's like, hey, he has COVID, you got to play. And I was like, who? He was like, Andrew. I was like, oh my gosh. So I had to play right tackle.
Okay.
But being a freshman here, I played right tackle coming in, so that's something that I just tapped back into, and I'm glad that I did it. I feel like I played a pretty good game there. So
That was what, your sophomore year?
that was my redshirt freshman year. Yeah, redshirt freshman year. So I'm glad I did that.
So you've never played left tackle?
I've never played left
So you
tackle.
played everything else but
But started at left tackle, yeah. I feel like I can do that. I feel like when you get a feeling of playing guard, you can play tackle as well. It's just the angles that can really change.
A little bit about your conversations with the Cowboys. That obviously would be a fun place for you to play since you're a local guy. But talk a little bit about what teams you've been hearing from, or what the conversations have been like.
Yeah, so I have about 5:30 visits. I'm meeting with the Cowboys, the Washington, Pittsburgh, Detroit, and Arizona. So those are really the teams that I would say are showing interest right now. I've been having a few meetings with a couple other teams, but as for now, those are the ones that I can point out.
What has the feedback been like?
Yeah, I mean, for me and myself, if I were to analyze, I feel like I'm a great person, and I've tried to show that with every team. I'm smart on the field, smart off the field as well. So these are the things that I try to point out with teams, and I feel like I've left a good impression on them. So,
what was it like to see Max and Q out there one more time?
Man, it was amazing, man. It's hard for me to grasp what type of season we had, and to grasp that, I no longer play for TCU. Like, when people ask me, they're like, "Oh, did you play?" I was like, "I did at TCU," but it's nice. I know they'll always be around. They've definitely opened up an environment where players can come back and enjoy, being around. So hopefully, I'll be seeing them in the NFL. If not, I'll still be seeing them anyways. We've definitely created a bond here. So.
What's your plans for the draft? Where are you gonna be?
So funny how I just said that. I'm actually having it here, up in the Legends Club. So it'll be nice. I've always envisioned having everybody that helped me, get to where I am there. So it's nice that I got to do that.
When you're doing the 3-cone drill, got like a pretty vocal reaction from a lot of the scouts and coaches out here today. What drill do you feel you did the best at today?
I feel like the O-line drills is where I exceeded at. That's what I do best. And besides the O-line, I think that 3-cone. I don't know where it came from, but I'll take it. So yeah.
What kind of feedback did you get from the scouts after you did that?
About the 3-cone?
Yeah.
I haven't got any exact feedback about that, but obviously I heard the scouts do whatever. Yeah, so I guess I went good. So.
How important is it for you to have position flexibility?
I think it means a lot. That's going to get you a shot in the league. You can play all 5 positions. That's just going to, get you on a roster somewhere. And that's all I'm trying to do is fight to get on a roster and prove myself. So.
You more comfortable on the left or the right, at guard, or
anything?
Where did you play most at in here?
Center.
Center?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But as terms of guard, what's your more dominant hand?
My dominant hand's right, but
Okay.
either way, I'm good, yeah.
Has that been a point of emphasis in your conversations with teams, is where you slot or where you're comfortable?
Yeah, I think, teams ask me where I want to play, and I usually say center just because I love to watch film and be in control of the line of scrimmage and stuff like that. But if they want to play guard, tackle, I'll do whatever they ask. So.
Who are your favorite centers to watch?
Corey Lindsey from the Chargers. He's the main guy I look up to, definitely. I feel like we have similar body types, and he just plays so under control, so smooth, and I definitely model my game after him.
What's the process like for you preparing for this?
It was stressful. It's just you run a 40-yard dash, something you've never really done, and it's all technique and work like that. So, I just wanted to train and show scouts I can move around and be really smooth. And but overall, I've loved the experience, and I'm grateful for it. So.
Do you worry about, when you look at mock drafts, you look at where you might go, second round, third round, you try not to care?
Nah, just stay down, and man, as long as I get a chance somewhere, I'm good. I just want to get on the roster and prove my worth and what I can do.
What is like been going through this process with Steve after playing alongside him all year and working out with him all year?
Man, it was great. We were roommates at the combine, and obviously going through this stuff, we've been training for 2 weeks for this, and I love Steve. We're really close friends, and it's an honor to share the field with him every time we go out there. So it was cool to do one last little go around before we go our separate ways. So.
What does it mean to just be a part of a group that's going to have so many guys going to the league?
Man, it was an honor, a privilege to play on this team. Best experience of my life by far. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm glad I came back for another year. Like I said, just a complete honor to play with all these guys. They're great dudes, and that's why we went so far. Everyone's just really good people. So.